Hey guys, good morning. Welcome back to the channel. Last episode I relocated electrical line and a receptacle in the master bathroom across the house, and also relocated a towel bar. I'll show you that. I also did remove all the mirrors. There were 3 mirrors, and the one was in the master bedroom was very large. I want to show you what happened with the outcome of that and how I finished it with that texture that comes in a can that you spray. All right, so this morning I had taken off the countertop and the sink, disconnected all the piping for the domestic waters over here. One thing about piping here, in Florida, this is typical of what they do down here. They don't really use copper too much anymore with domestic water lines. They use the PVC, CPVC, which is mostly a higher pressure. It's 70 pounds PSI, so it's really not high pressure, but you really have to be careful when you disconnect the tubing, the flex tube that goes to the faucet underneath, because these pipes are fragile. They wiggle around, and they come through the slab. So you have to kind of either hold it or back it up with a Stilson wrench or another wrench so that it doesn't move while you're disconnecting these things. Now, I'm going to demo this, and there's a wall here and there's a wall behind me. So I have to take some of the face frame off, and then I have to very carefully start dismantling this thing in place. What I want to do is take the jigsaw out, because I have a sawzall and a jigsaw. The jigsaw I'll use to cut around those pipes and try and get it to a point where they become free and break it through. I don't want to remove the valves right now, okay? So right now, the main goal right here is demoing this one vanity. My lights on the other side I'll do tomorrow, but I want to clean this up and start laying out the piping. That's a whole other video that I'll show you. So with that being said, we got to get started. See, what they do is, this is a particle board. It's not that strong. The cabinetry we're getting will have plywood boxes, which is what I always use. They staple this stuff together. It comes off pretty easy. But I'm always mindful of those domestic hot and cold water lines. I don't want to go anywhere near those until I'm ready to hook up and relocate the piping. So we'll continue with this. I also don't want to mess up any tile work. I have some extra tiles. I am going to have to rework some of the tile work that butts up to the face frame of the new cabinetry. So, but that's down the road. So I'm going to continue with this and just do what I got to do. All right, now is the hard part. These pipes. They both, this is the drain line. That's the vent. It's called a Schrader vent. I'm going to replace all of that. Cold water, hot water. All these lines are going to domestic hot and cold water will be relocated in between the toe space to the center area, because all of the sinks, the 3 sinks, 2 here and 1 on the other side, are going to be center of the base cabinet. That's what we want. So I have to redo that. And this too. So now I have to kind of figure out how to get this out of here without disturbing these pipes right now. All right, so I broke free the bottom of the cabinet from the toe space frame. Again, it's all part of the board. And now I'm going to take the sawzall and be very careful. I'm going to cut on the side of this hole. I won't go all the way down in front. I won't plunge down. Go down right here, down. And I may not go all the way through, but that's okay. And then from the back, just cut back here a little bit and try and get that so I can break it free and get this first piece out. So here we go. All right, so now it's just a cleanup. And I'm going to do some layout lines on the concrete floor for the rerouting of the domestic hot and cold water lines. So after I did a little housekeeping, cleaned up back here, I have 47.5 inches tight between the walls. This particular cabinet base is coming in 3 pieces, 21-inch center and 12-inch centers on each side. Obviously, there will be a filler piece on the side of each center line, equal, of about 1 1/8 inch each. I have to rip it down. They're going to give me a 3-inch piece, and the finish on these cabinets are espresso, so they're dark, and I have to rip it down on the table saw. No big deal. But I'm assuming that these tiles are perpendicular to the wall or parallel to the wall. Now, and I got the center line here, so I'm going to lay out my domestic cold and hot water lines where I want them to come up in the new location. Okay? So right now I'm going to strike a center line. These water lines come up about 5 inches, so you're going to lose about 1 inch, let's say. But I'm going to push them back another inch so that they're 4 inches off the wall. So I'm going to mark that. The line goes here. So that we're good. That's basically where I want the hot water to come up and the cold water to come up. And because we have a 4-inch toe space, what I'm going to do is the cold water is going to break out, and the top of the pipe is going to be about 2.5 inches. I don't want it to touch the floor of the underside floor of the bottom of the cabinet. So it's going to roll out 90 degrees and roll over 90 degrees, come in here, and the cold water is going to come up over here. Right here. The hot water is going to go the other way, and it's going to be traced this way, and come up and over here. Now, visualize that there's a 4-inch base here, inside base. These domestic waters are underneath there, so you don't see them inside the cabinetry, so I have to deal with this guy. And this guy falls out right where the 12-inch first cabinet is with the drawers. There's drawers on both sides and a door in the center. So right now I'm going to lose about 1.5 inches. So I lose about 1.5 inches. So I'm probably not going to be able to do anything with this. I may have to cut it and roll an elbow 90 degrees and come up into the main cabinet space here. Come up to the main cabinet space, hug that side of the wall. I have a new Y fitting. And I have a new Schrader valve, and so that'll be incorporated in this area over here to make room for the cabinets, the drawer cabinets. I probably will have to have, and I spoke to the cabinet maker, the owner actually, about this. The first drawer, we may have to cut about 3 inches or 4 inches off the back of it. You know, it's all dovetail joinery. The box is a dovetail joinery, which is very strong, as you know. And so that on the first one, but the rest of them should be all right, because I'm going to put this actually here inside the other cabinet, vertically here, and stop it about the same elevation. All right. So that's the plan. I'm going to do a little more cleanup, and then on to my wife's cabinet. I'm going to disconnect the hot and cold water and take the counter off and the sink. All right. So here we go. First, I'm shutting off the water, and I'm holding it with my other hand because these pipes are flimsy. Valves are holding, that's good. And I can get rid of this too, because this is all this configuration will all change. I'll show you. I'll go over that with you after we get the vanity out of here. Get this garbage out of here. Oh, okay. Here we go. So we're demoed right now with this, and I'll clean up. I think we'll call this segment Accurate Destruction, because that's what it was. On this particular side here, with regard to the base cabinets, we're getting 3 cabinets as well. Drawers on one side, drawers on the other side, and doors in the center. The sink will be in the center as well. I have 66 inches from the wall to here. Not the tile, but to here, which is where that cabinet's going to go. Okay? And I'm not going to remove this tile here. I'm going to sit it over the tile. It's a ½ inch higher. These cabinets will be 36 inches finish at the top of the counter, which is going to be quartz. Okay, so another ½ inch is not going to matter. I'm going to build this up on 3 sides, obviously, to match this perfectly so it's level. That's not a problem. So now I have to reroute the hot water, the cold water, and this guy. The segment is, we have an 18-inch cabinet on that side, a 30-inch sink cabinet in the center, and another 18-inch here to make up 66 inches. It's going to be tight, no doubt. All right, but I'll get it in there. As this drain works out, this 2-inch drain pipe, it's actually inside the base cabinet of where the sink is. That's great, because 18 inches finishes here. So what I'm going to do is when I do the plumbing, roughing, which is in the next video, I'm going to cut this off here, clean this up because it's got all kinds of paint and junk on it. I got another wide branch and swing it around the other way and just put this with a new configuration. This is all going to be new, here. And I'll be able to run that in. The hot water is going to go in the front. I'm going to run the hot water here in the front and the cold water in the back to come here. So now, I mean, you don't have to do this, but you kind of got to lay it out. So half of 66 is 33. 33 will be the center line of that cabinet. It's a 30-inch base cabinet, so 15 inches. So obviously part of it's going to be on on the floor here, and I can go 30 inches right from that line there, and that's that. Okay, and we should have 18 inches. We have 18 and a quarter, which is okay. So that'll work out fine. Did I measure that right? Yep, 30. So that's the center line. So here's our center line. I'm hoping that these are, again, these tiles are parallel with everything else here. So I'll just strike the center line. That's the center line of our sink base cabinet. Okay? Now, again, I wanted 4 inches off the wall. It's really going to be about 3.5 by the time the cabinetry gets in here. Okay? And that's okay. So I go 4 and 4. And basically, I just want to run a line here. Doesn't have to be a full line. It can just be here and here. Okay. And again, this is going to be an 8-inch rough. The faucets, you're going to have hot, cold, and the spout. 8-inch rough, so 4 and 4. This is approximate. It's not going to be dead on. It'll be very, very, very close though. It'll be very, very close. You got all kinds of fuzz on this. So that's where the 1-inch CPVC pipe elbow will be looking up, right here. And again, I'm going to make it long. I'm going to probably make it, 4 inches, 6, 10 inches high, and put a cap on it. I'm not putting the valve on because I don't have the cabinet. So I would just drill the hole out, stick it through, turn the main water off, obviously, cut it to the height I want, which is probably going to be about 4 inches above the floor of the inside of the cabinet, and then put my valve on there, and then run there to the faucet. So that's how it's going to go. Lay this out. I'll lay this out now for the hot water, and the cold water is going in the back. Again, the top of the pipes that are going to run in this space inside the toe space are going to be, the top's going to be about 2.5 to 3 inches max top. Okay, and so I'll make little U brackets to hold the pipe up, and also secure the U bracket to the concrete, and secure the pipe to the bracket I make, the U bracket, with EMT clips that they use for the conduit. It'll be fine, and it'll be nice and sturdy. So that's what I'm going to do. So we're going to lay this out now. Hot water line. So lay it out here. I don't have to come out that far. And over here. Just eyeball it quick. It's hot and cold. Will come off the back. I'll just run it through here. Just run through here. And we'll run it back here. And right back here. Cold has to come all the way over this side here. I'm just giving you, I'm laying this out so you have an idea of what's actually going to happen here. Okay? Again, it's going to be accurate to a point. Okay. Hot line comes in here. The elbow will roll out, turn 90 degrees, and roll up 90 degrees. And I'll probably have it roughed in about this high with a cap on it, glued. The cold will come out the back, roll it out, roll it over, 90 degrees, roll it back, and roll it up another 10, 11 inches with a cap on it, just temporarily. So the next segment you see will be the plumbing, roughing. That's what I'm going to lay it on the floor, cut it where I have to do. I dry fit everything first. Everything gets dry fitted first. That's how I do it. I'll be able to cut this off here and I'll be able to put the new Y, after I clean up this garbage that's on here, put the new Y on. I will dry fit that too. I'm not gonna glue it in. I'll dry fit it up. These will be glued in solid with the cap on because we have to have the water running. So I can do that. And then when the cabinets come, I have to lay out my openings, obviously for the cabinet on the bottom. Here, make a little knockout here for the cabinet here, and here for the cabinet too, right where they both join. Each cabinet, when they join, will be a little knockout here, so the pipe can go through. And that's pretty much it. I don't need to make a hole for this because it's already in the base cabinet, which is in this center cabinet, which is great. So this one's a little bit easier than that one over there. So, and it will not interfere with the drawers at all, so we're good with that. And that's pretty much it. So the next time I see you guys, you'll see me doing the CPVC layout and cut and splice it in one by one. I won't commit to cutting off the water until I have it all ready to go, and it'll all be glued. The last connection will be here. I'll put something under here temporarily to keep it at the same elevation. Same thing with this one and that guy over there too. Until I make the brackets. I'm going to make the brackets. I looked in Lowe's. I saw their stock hardware and stuff. It's all too heavy. I don't need anything that heavy. I have sheet metal in the garage, and I can make new brackets out of that. No big deal. I'm a retired sheet metal worker by trade, so it's no big deal. Anyway, that's the story. We'll see you guys on the next video.